Welcome to a Batocera quick setup guide to Windows portable games. I won't discuss games utilising a setup executable file, as this guide is solely for games utilising files and folders. I have already copied over the file structures of two games and placed them in their corresponding folders. I've also added the extension .pc. I will warn in advance, this is a highly condensed guide utilising many copy and paste, particularly with files and folders. Therefore I would urge you not to skip any part of it, otherwise you might miss something. Now, without amending any of the files since I've copied them over, I'm going to demonstrate what happens if I try to run these two games using Batocera. As you can see, both games boot to wine file structure. This is due to Emulation Station not being able to determine which file to run. In order to fix that, we're going to press F1 and go into our file manager. Now we're going to browse to ROMs and Windows. These are the two games that I've actually copied over. Inside of each folder I've got a game folder with the individual files inside. This is the executable file for this game. I go back, and inside the Mayhem Brawler folder, the same game structure with a game folder, and this is the executable file for Mayhem Brawler. And what I'm going to do now, I need to make a file that Emulation Station knows which file needs to be run. So I'm going to create an empty file in this folder. I'm going to call it autorun.cmd. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to look in the game folder for the executable file, which is here, Guns of Fury. And it's to save a lot of hassle, what I'm going to actually do is rename this file but not rename it. I'm going to copy, press cancel, and I'm going to go into that autorun.cmd file and I'm going to paste it here. Saves me typing in and looking again what the file name was actually called. Now I also need to add an additional line of text. So cmd equals guns _ fury, which was the executable file. Above this I need to put the dir for dir equals, and it's going to be game, because that's where I put my game files, inside a game directory. If you don't use a game directory, you do not need to add that line of text. Now another shortcut here to save having to create that file again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Guns of Fury, copy the autorun.cmd file and place that into my Mayhem Brawler file and click paste. Now I'm going to go into the Mayhem Brawler, check out the executable file, click rename but don't rename, copy, go back into the auto run, and I'm going to delete the Guns of Fury from here, and I'm going to paste the Mayhem Brawler executable there, and then click save. A lot quicker doing it this way, and then I can quit. One important thing to note before we move on, and I am going to add this to the screen as well, is for games where the executable file has no spaces, it's simply cmd equals your game name. For games where the executable file actually includes a space or spaces, it's cmd equals your game name within quotations. That is very important, otherwise it will not find the file. Next I'm going to select File and close Window to return to Batocera's Systems menu, then update Games List before I attempt to run these games again. So let's check out our first game, Guns of Fury, which as you can see works fine now. So let's quit back out of that, and we'll test our second game, Mayhem Brawler, which also you can see that one's working fine too. Please note you won't get every single Windows game to work using this method. Some games will refuse to work at all, others will require dependencies such as DirectX or whatever. Most of those you can actually get working if you're willing to put in the time and effort, but otherwise, that's the end of this guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.